Good morning. I'm Steve Lentini, and welcome to my Monday, The Best Getting Better sales training and how you show up skills, waking up to have a life that's prosperous and not working hard, working smart, and leveraging the law of increase so that you can manifest what it is that you want in your life. And it's already happening. It's happening in every moment. You're always manifesting something that you're focusing on because of the law of increase. What you focus on increases. Okay, so before I get started, again, I'm Steve Lentini. I am the author of the book, Sales Success for the Rookie, among others. I have Sales Success for the Seasoned Veteran, How to Stay at Peak Performance. This is Sales Success for the Rookie, How to Succeed Right from the Start, and it's published by Motivational Press, Justin Sachs. And we've also published this book as a collaboration. It's Imagine 30 Days to a New You. Days to a New You, and there's 29 authors in Justin Sachs, and I'm featured in here as well. And this is Justin Sachs, and Motivational Press is a great press for publishing your book. They're a great publisher. They do everything they say they're going to do and more. And they were great help to me. So I've got 2 books out since the beginning of the year. And you can reach me at 917-805-1088, 917-805-1088. Send in questions right here on this webinar every week. And you can call me or email me, and I'll give you my email at the end. Okay, so today we're talking about tips that you can use all week long to help you grow your sales. And the one thing is what you focus on, the law of increase. So you are the sum total. Your thinking and your speaking has brought you what you have thus far in life. And so if you have some frustration or you want to increase from where you are, and that's human nature, by the way, so don't make yourself wrong for wanting to increase from where you are, wanting to grow. Look at how society has advanced since the beginning of time. And people want to make the advance wrong, but the way the universe works is what you focus on increases, and what the collective consciousness of humanity focuses on increases. And so if you think of time, if you want to just go relative back 100 years, just think of how we've advanced. And it's because of what we're focusing on as people, as a society, the collective consciousness. And then individual people, what they're focusing on in their life is something they're manifesting. All right. So you right now, your life is the sum total of all of your words, thoughts, words, and actions till now. The beauty of the law of increase is the minute you change your thinking, things change. So the minute you change, things change. It has to. It responds only to you. Only to you. Okay. So what are you going to focus on this week? Are you going to focus on and start to begin to notice, first of all, your negative thought patterns? So I've worked with people who, when I rode with them, all I heard was self-limiting words. I'm still riding with people. It's something that I do because I can see them in action, and I can help tweak their thoughts and their words, and with a little bit of coaching ongoing, because nothing happens in a day or in a second unless it's you change, you're distracted while you're driving, or you're texting and you have a crash. Yeah. If you're driving, shut this off. And don't be texting while you're driving. I put my phone in the glove compartment now, or I slide it down between the seats. So I can't get it. I have no choice. Okay, so what you focus on increases. So if you notice your negative thought patterns, and how you can do that is start to notice the words of others. Start to notice where they have these self-limiting patterns. I'm trying to make this a little brighter. There we go. Thank you. And when you catch your self-limiting patterns, you're on the road to changing your thinking, and the law of increase is always working. So the minute you change it, it begins to shift and change in response. Okay. So your negative thought patterns are default patterns that need to be broken. And the only way you can recognize them is you need to start to begin to develop the level of thinking above your thinking. You have to be the witness to your thinking first. So here's what that means. The witness to your thinking means you're not reacting to every thought and you're not believing every thought in your head. Because who's the thinker of the thought? They're all the same, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. You are the thinker of your thought. So notice first negative thought patterns and begin to notice self-limiting words that people use. And then you'll also begin to notice the self-limiting words you use. How many times do you tell people why you can't do something? Maybe you don't want to do something. Maybe it's not something you want in your life. Then define that and say, it's not something I want in my life. That's different than saying, I can't, oh, the traffic, oh, I don't know anybody, oh, I can't increase my sales, oh, I don't like the pressure, oh. Maybe you don't want to do something. That's okay. Go do what you want. You feel better, you have a better life. And the law of increase brings you more of that because now you're happy. Yes, do what you love in life. Don't do what your mother said. Don't do what your father said to do. Do what you think. And don't do something just for money, because money comes when you're doing what you love, when you're doing the right thing, when you're contributing to the universe with a happy, positive energy. What you do increases because you love it. So that's what you send out. And the law of increase has to respond. It has no choice. It's impersonal. It comes from pure consciousness. It responds only to your thinking. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, in his essay on compensation, is a good read for business people and salespeople. He said, you are always, the way the universe works, you are always being paid what you deserve. You've earned what you're getting. If you're earning a lot and you're not happy, your unhappiness is attracting more reasons to be unhappy. Your complaining attracts more reasons to complain. If you just change what that default pattern is, maybe you'll be happy at what you do because you chose to just be happy at what you do until you find that thing that you want to do. Even if you're making a lot of money, you know all the stories that money doesn't make people happy. It doesn't make people happy. There's no way. Plus, most people realize if they're unhappy, the word isn't realize. Most people become trapped in that thinking of, oh, if only I could do this, if only I could do that, or I'll be satisfied when I change this career, when I get out of this, when I retire. I mean, it's all crazy thinking because you only have now. So that's the thing. If you're unhappy, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how many material things you have. You can keep buying more and more and more, and you keep saying, wow, I'm still unhappy, because you're focusing on being unhappy. First, become happy. Just be in the moment. Be grateful. Find so many things to be grateful for. You've got a lot of money and a great job. Just be grateful for it. If you don't like the work, then begin to change the work. Say, that's it. I'm going to leave this work. And when you make that declaration, things form around it. Once you begin to do what it is you love to do. That's how the law works. So if you get the book, Are You Ready to Succeed by Dr. Srikumar Rao, R-A-O, Dr. Rao, Are You Ready to Succeed? It's a wonderful read and study on how to become the observer to your thinking, how to develop what he calls the witness level to your thinking. Now, he wrote that book a number of years ago, and before he wrote that book, I was teaching that naturally because I knew one of the laws of the universe was the law of increase. I had studied Napoleon Hill's work, and I had studied great writers and thinkers, Charles Haanel, The Master Key System, Helen Wilmans, Dr. Elizabeth Seton, Dr. Florence Scovel Shinn, the Fillmores and Catherine Ponder and Ralph Waldo Emerson. There's many great writers on the ideas of what we think about and speak about, we bring about. James Allen, Marcus Bach. Yeah, I've studied a lot of authors, so you don't have to go out and study it. I'm the Cliff Notes. So let me just say, another great book to get is, I don't make any money on it. I promote it on my website. It's Prosperity Institute website. It's called Manifesting Magnificence by Andrew Lutz. It's a great book. It's an easy read, and it gives you a systematic step-by-step way to manifest what you want in your life. So, and you have great power because you've manifested everything up until now. And so some people say to me, no, Steve, come on. What about a tornado? Did I manifest that? You manifested your reaction to it. Did you stand out in the street in front of the house that was already gone? It's gone. All your stuff is gone. And you cried. Oh, everything's gone. I lost everything. In the moment, it's okay. You cry a little bit. All right, if you have to. For me, it would be, wow, I got a whole lot of new stuff to go get. Thank you for clearing all this crap out of my life. Because it's gone. Another great book to get if you're in sales or in business is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So Eckhart went into a deep depression, was an Oxford educated professor, and he was a academic author. So he wrote great books on the topic that he was teaching. And he was recognized as an expert, and he went into a deep depression and found himself in a park. People thought he was a bum. And it was a very deep depression. And one day he realized why he was unhappy. He just wasn't happy to be here now. He said, most people think reality is nuts. Right? So get that a second. Take that in. I'm going to have a drink of water. Sorry, Red Sox fans. I still love you because my mother and father and 3 brothers and a sister were Red Sox fans, or are. My mother and father, they're not living. They're watching. Okay. Are you thinking reality is nuts? Like a customer rejects you. So what? You can't lose what you don't have. And why did you go in to sell them anyway? Why didn't you go in to say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I sell 3 people down the street. I know you use what I use. And I'm not here to sell anything for now. I just want to understand a few things if you've got a minute or two. Most people say sure, or if they say no, you should be smart enough, right? The master of the obvious, not to go in to a business during a busy time. So think to yourself, what do they do? Or if it's a specialty store or plumbing hardware, look around to see if they're busy. If they're busy, then you say, no, I'll come back. I'm just here to meet the owners. I'm here to meet people who are buying what I sell, and I just want to meet them. I'll be back. So your job is to meet people. How do you get rejected if your job is to meet people? You can sell something. You can always sell something. If they don't know you, they don't know you. They don't care about your goals. So if you care about people, the law of increase, you'll get people around you that care about you. If you're there to help people, okay, the law of increase says you'll have plenty of people to help them buy. Whether they buy from you or not right now, who cares? They might not be a fit for you. How about that? They might not be a fit for you. So let's change things up this week. And this is a study that takes years and years and years. It's like going to the gym. Most people know about exercising their body because they see a result, right? I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that if you exercise your body, you get a result. If it was this big, then you'd know that I'm exercising frequently. I actually am going to the gym, and I just like a little bit of strength training. That's all. I do the machines. So go to the gym this week and exercise your mind. What are you thinking about in the gym of the mind, the mental gymnastics? Put yourself through a regimen like you would at the gym. If you don't go to the gym, you probably won't do this mentally. But if you don't go to the gym, you could do this. You don't have to go anywhere. Maybe make that your goal. Say, let me change in my mind and see what changes in my life. What do you attract? What do you attract by giving? Let's say that you're a giver. So go out this week and donate $5 for Live United, Live Unified. It's for the Special Olympics. Play Unified, Live Unified, and it's for the Special Olympics. Go out and give $5 and get a bracelet. Or give an extra tip at the coffee shop. Cost you $4 for a cup of coffee? Give a $4 tip. Give a $5 tip. Wow, you generous thing. Generosity is an energy that you put out, right? The law of increase says this person's generous. So you'll have people be generous with you. Let me prove the law, the physical law, the law of physics, right? You keep doing what you're doing, but you expect a different result. That's crazy. That's insanity. The minute I change, things change. So you need to be changing. Go to the gym in your mind, mental gymnastics. Start a program of affirmations that affirm, first of all, that you have ability and strength and creative power. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Tell yourself, look in the mirror. So Louise Hay says, use these mirror exercises. Tell yourself you love yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Praise yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you, Steve. What's not to love? I know you all love me. Thank you for being on the seminar. Being on the webcast. I'm grateful. So here's the thing. You change. Start a mental gymnastics program and notice what shifts around you. How about this week you challenge a relationship, a difficult relationship, by changing? You change and watch what changes. Maybe you soften with the person. Maybe you begin to just think about, where are you like them? Because people that bug us are a gift. They're there to show us the parts of us that we don't like. We have what they have. We just don't know it. It's called the dark side, right? What we don't know that we don't know, the dark side of the moon. What we can't see, we can't see. We don't even know it. So included in my work is I coach people in how they show up. And I have people around me talking to me all the time about how I show up. It doesn't always look good. So what? Imagine not knowing. We're human. We're human. Humans make mistakes. Who wants to buy from the smooth talker? Those days are dead. Stop backslapping. Stop bringing bagels. Start having a conversation. A real conversation with people. Hey, who do you know? Who? I'm looking to get into these 3 companies. You know anybody there? Can I tell them that I sell you? You happy with us? Yeah. Okay, great. Can I refer someone to you? What if I gave someone your name? Are you okay with it? I'm not going to do it a lot, but in this case, I have 3 targets. They're pretty big. It would be somebody from this company, or this company. But one at a time, and I'll tell you beforehand. Whenever I give your name out, I'll let you know. How do you feel about that? Great. Great, Steve. I'm glad to recommend you. I'm glad to refer you. So here's the thing. You're always getting what you're giving. You're always harvesting something that you planted. Get the book by Jim Rohn, The Garden of Your Life. The Garden That's Your Life. And he talks about operating in similar to a farmer. And I've studied that for years. And in my book, The Sales Success for the Rookie, you'll find information about that. information about that. That your thoughts are seeds, and once you begin to take action, it's like you've planted the seed in the ground. And that next action, if you have a thought, you give it energy by speaking it. That's planting it. And until you cancel it or catch it and, whoa, I don't want more of that, then you change it and you say, ooh, cancel that. That's not something I want more of. And switch your thinking back to, and you're speaking. Your words have power. Go study Helen Wilmans. She talks about the power of the spoken word. Helen Wilmans. For those of you writing things down. Steve, slow down so I can. Who? Helen Wilmans. She talks about the power of the spoken word. So there's a thought, then there's the word, and then there's things that manifest. Deepak Chopra is working with a physicist. They're working on a brand new book that talks about it's our awareness that affects the formation of all the material things in the universe. It's our awareness that's impacting the formation of molecules and particles and quarks and planks and tables, chairs. All right, I'm not a physicist, but I do read all that work because I find the people that write well, they explain it simply. Brian Greene, The Arc of the Universe, The Elegant Universe, great books. He talks about them very plainly. And you can understand that we are impacting what's happening, which is what I'm telling you. Your thoughts, words, and actions are creating your world, and that you've created your world up until now. First, you have to recognize that you have power. You're not a victim of circumstance. And when you're in front of people, you have an energy that you're projecting. So how about if you change this week to, these are just suggestions, it's your life. Don't listen to anyone. Anyone who tells you they have the answer, you run away. No one has the answer. We're all experimenting, creating. It's called life. It's called our journey through life. And no one's journey is wrong. It's none of our business, right? No one's journey is wrong. So if you're making people wrong, that's an energy that you're creating that'll have people around you making you wrong, because you get what you give. You get what you give. So if you begin to study, you'll learn that it's your awareness that's creating your environment, that's impacting your world. What you're thinking about, you're bringing about. What you're thinking about and speaking about, you're planting in the ethers of manifestation in the universe. You're about. So here's something new. How about in front of people, new prospects, appointments, regular customers, whatever it is you're doing at work, how about you manage your energy differently? And instead of walking around in a blue mood because, I don't know, somebody at home did something, don't bring that stuff with you to work. Don't bring it anywhere. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anyone steal your joy. And silently wish everyone joy, happiness, and success. Silently bless everybody. It's an energy you put out. Let everybody succeed. Who cares? There's plenty. It's the idea that we compete is a fallacy. That's in limited thinking mind. If you have that kind of thinking, you're in limited thinking world. We have a prosperous, abundant universe. There's plenty of everything. We just haven't discovered out how to do. If something's lacking, we haven't discovered a new way to bring it about. And by thinking about it, we will. It's like saying there's a shortage of water, or that methane gas is affecting our environment. Environmentalists will probably go crazy. I'll hear about this. But here's the thing. The Earth has been giving off methane gas since it cooled off. Anything that grows and dies decomposes and gives off methane gas. So every year when the leaves fall to the forest floor, they're decomposing along with a whole bunch of other stuff, twigs and squirrels and any kind of animal that died, birds, they're all giving off methane gas. The Earth wouldn't have methane gas if we weren't supposed to use it. If we didn't create it in our awareness, if we didn't need it to create energy, until we find something else, stop worrying about it. Mother Earth can take care of herself. She's very good at it. Should we be responsible and keep her clean and neat? Yes. Should we continue to work for better ways? Absolutely. But stop thinking of apocalypse in the end. We are all going. We all have an end. We all have an end date. So you'll have your own personal apocalypse. Keep it to yourself. Stop thinking doom and gloom. There's plenty. Start thinking positive. Raise yourself up. Raise your body language up. Stop thinking limited. You're not limited. You're limitless. So are you this? That's an acorn. You get it? This has potential to be an oak tree. Not everyone becomes an oak tree. Not every one of these becomes an oak tree. How many of these does one oak tree produce every year? Thousands and thousands. I'd love to count. I'd love to know if somebody from a mature of 50-year-old oak tree has ever counted how many acorns one oak tree produces. Thousands every year. Probably 10,000. I don't know. Every year, one tree. That's the rule of increase, the law of increase. So the tree only knows to produce acorns. And that's what it knows. It's programmed in here. When you do what you love, you're doing what you're programmed for, you little nut. Break out of the shell. And you're not limited. You're limitless. And you can live in here and say, this little acorn thinks it's complete. It ended up on my desk for a reason. It'll never become an oak tree unless I go plant it. And I might, because there's another, I can go get another acorn this fall. There'll be plenty of them. That I know for sure. But here's the thing. Your thinking is limited by you. Your life is limited by you. So what are you going to do this week? How are you going to change? Pushing a sale? Are you pushing? There's only one way. You feel that energy? There's only one way that people can go from you pushing. You. Pull back a little bit. Relax. I've closed $1 million sales helping people, even walking away from the sale. You'll read about them in my book. In both cases, they were a little curious about us, except they had a number of already existing suppliers. In one case, 10 or 11, 9 or 10 or 11, and another case, 16. And they were going to one. And they had done business with, in both cases, those suppliers for many, many years. And when they told me, how could we buy from you, Steve? I said, you're right, you couldn't. It's crazy. Can you imagine telling your bosses that you ended up with us and you've never done business with us? So since you're not going to buy from us, what are you looking for? That's what I said. You got some time? Share with me what you're looking for. Oh, sure. Here's what we're looking for. I gave them ideas, both of them. If this happens, be aware. I can help you with it if it happens. In both cases, they said, why don't you tell me about it, Steve? And I said, well, don't you have all your suppliers coming in? Yes. Aren't you going to be talking to all of them over the next what? Tell me, how long is the process going to be? And they both told me. And they said, yeah, we're going to be talking to them. I said, well, somebody's going to have the same idea I have. Imagine that, right? Because most salespeople would be saying, oh, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Or they'd say, no, put me on that list and then I'll call you. Then I'll give you my idea. No, because what if you went on the list and then somebody else told them? They'd say, you know what, Steve, we can't buy from you. Sorry. Because somebody else came up with the same suggestion, so I got to take you off the list. So I said, don't you have all these suppliers coming in? Somebody will have the same thought I do. They didn't. In 2 cases. Because they weren't thinking about helping. They were thinking about selling. Solve the problem. What happened? Oh, all these guys did come in was tell us about how great they were and all the stuff they sell. And they never heard that we needed a solution to a problem. Can you imagine that? Some of them were doing business, in the case of Harvard University, for 35 years. In the case of the real estate company, they're no longer in business, Spalding and Sly, in some cases, 16 years. Both those customers, I said, you know what, if you don't hear it after you interview everybody, call me back. I am glad to help. They both called me back. One was $750,000, $800,000 in sales just to begin with. The other was over $1 million. We got the both. We closed them both. That's because I knew I operate in something bigger than me. I operate in a universe, right? We're hurtling through space on a garden planet, hurtling through space at whatever, 65,000 miles an hour. Don't hold me to it. I hope none of you are scientists. No, I hope some of you are. I like scientists. I have scientists for clients. But don't hold me to it, you scientists. I know you're going, Steve, that's not true. Come on. All right, it's generality. We are hurtling through space on a garden planet in the midst of a void. Can you dispute me on that? In the midst of a vacuum. Everything required for life is here. But not for you, little acorn? That's nuts, right? Reality is not nuts. It's here. You can reality. That's the beauty of it. By simply, one, surrender. Be in the moment. Stop fighting the moment. When you fight life, life fights you. That's from Eckhart Tolle. One of my quotes is, if you don't like your experience of the world, change how the world is experiencing you. A lot of people have things to complain about, rail about, but here's the fact. Until they change, they're going to keep getting what they're getting. You change. You change and things change. Start to notice where you want to resist and fight things. Relax, surrender, change. Find things you're grateful for. How about writing in a gratitude journal every night? 3 things, 5 things, 10 things, things you're grateful for that transpired that day. Start to notice the little things, the little God winks, I call them. You can call them whatever you want, the little universe winks. You can call them nothing. I mean, even Albert Einstein said, you can live life 2 ways. One is if everything were a miracle. The other is if nothing were a miracle. That's your choice. Why not live in everything's a miracle? Since you have a choice, that makes life there's a reason for awe of life, right? The gratitude and the awe of life comes from thinking that everything's a miracle. So you say, well, Steve, I got to sell something this week. I got pressure. No, you're in the wrong job, or you're not talking. You get the wrong boss. Have him call me. I'll tell him, stop putting pressure on people in your business. Work with them. Understand their challenges. Teach them to help people buy. Yes. And be grateful. Be satisfied in the moment. This is the only moment we have. I know. I was here 1 second and gone the next. So I know there's an apocalypse, but it's an individual one. And this thing called life will keep going on and growing despite what humans think. And if humans all wipe themselves out, well, guess what? Something else would pop up. Something else would pop up. That's how life works. So stop worrying. Just move forward. Have some joy. Spread joy. Spread positive thinking. Bless everyone. Wish everyone joy, happiness, and success. And be there to help people buy and change your thinking. When you change, things change. Okay, so how do you reach me? Steve at stevelentini.com. That's my email. Steve, S-T-E-V-E, at S-T-E-V-E, L as in Linda, E-N, T as in Tom, I-N-I.com. Steve at stevelentini.com. My other website is prosperityinstitute.com. That's my email is SL at prosperityinstitute.com. Just Google Prosperity Institute and I come up. There's the Martin Institute of Prosperity, and there's my Prosperity Institute. So my programs help you change life. I've got people working with me for years and years and years, changing their lives because I help them change their thinking. I just tell them, you made it. How'd you make it? Let's talk about what you want. What do you want more of? And then I help them change their thinking. I give them a checkup from the neck up, a tune-up from the neck up. This is what's important. Okay. Breathe. And remember, I see the potential in you. Be an oak tree. I know that you can change. But until you believe it, nothing happens, right? You little nut. All right, have a great week. Talk to you on Monday. Enjoy, and thank you for being with me. By the way, if you want to call me anytime, 917-805-1088, 917-805-1088. Have a great week. Thanks.